Hey guys, I'm getting back here for another video, guys. Welcome back to another look. Well, first look at Week 5's DFS lineup. Let's go ahead and get right into it. So starting off right away, Mahomes is the #1 player in this slate, which makes perfect sense, let's be honest, because he is playing Minnesota Vikings. The Minnesota Vikings defense is absolutely abysmal. I don't even understand them anymore. At first, I thought, like, maybe they're not as bad as people make them out to be. No, they're worse than people make them out to be. It's actually truly insane. Now, of course, Mahomes coming off a pretty bad game versus the Jets defense on Sunday Night Football. So he should have a pretty dang good bounce back game here. Jalen Hurts does play the Rams, which I'm not touching anything with the Eagles until I figure out who the Eagles are. Because right now, the Eagles are playing every single opponent very, very tough. Play the Commanders tough. They play the Patriots tough. Other than the Buccaneers, who they blew out, I just don't know who they are, and the Rams are playing everyone tough too. So my quarterback for this week, starting off right away, it's going to be 0 buyback options, and it's going to be Lamar Jackson. Because I think this game, Ravens-Pittsburgh, is going to get bad, very ugly, very quickly. And I think the Ravens are going to dominate this team. Marlon Humphreys is back at practice. You know, Pittsburgh's coming off an awful loss to the Houston Texans. Ravens coming off an amazing win versus the Cleveland Browns. It's like, if everyone's going to dogpile on the Steelers right now, it is the perfect time to do it. Steelers defense looks defeated. They look like they can't stop anything. The Steelers offense is absolutely abysmal under Matt Canada. This is going to be all, you know, Ravens in this game. So let me go ahead and go with Zay Flowers. And I'll take Mark Andrews, and I'm going to do a double stack on Lamar Jackson here. And I'm not even looking back at this game on the Steelers side. I don't trust anything Pittsburgh's putting out there. And until they foul Matt Canada, I don't think there's going to be any real, you know, shining light to look at and say, yep, there you go. Something good happened. No, nothing as good is going to happen over there in Pittsburgh. Next, what I'm going with is defense. I'm going with Lions here, and I think they're going to be really, really great this week. They play Carolina, and the Lions defense as a whole, definitely not something you talk about too much. But, I mean, so far this year, they have been sneaky good the last 2 weeks. Green Bay, Atlanta, and KC week 1. Obviously, week 3. I don't know why, but the Seahawks-Lions always has to be like a 40-point game. For some reason, last year was the same thing. This year and last year, 40-point games when those two teams played, but give me the Lions defense this week to get the job done. Now, going into running backs, this is where things get a little bit more challenging, right? Because obviously, yes, Alvin Kamara is back. They still have no Jamal Williams. They're going against New England. Now, New England obviously is going to get J.C. Jackson back. Overall-wise, I say they're a good defense, but the Cowboys absolutely demolished them. Now, we got to keep an eye out on the Saints quarterback, Derek Carr. He said Wednesday that Carr was limited practice. Obviously, if he can play on Sunday, then that is huge for Alvin Kamara. But if not, I almost do not like Alvin Kamara in any way possible. I don't think he really has the upside that I like going into this game. So going down this list here, a player I do really like is actually DeAndre Swift versus the Rams. While, yes, I think the Rams are going to play, you know, the Eagles very tough in this game. They're not going to allow too much stuff. DeAndre Swift is that guy who can get out of the backfield, catch a pass, break a tackle, and pay me back on $6,000 by just literally getting a couple tutties. Easy tutties by, like, you know, goal line carries or goal line catches, right? So I love him right there. All right, so next option here, let's go wide receiver. Ooh. I don't like anything from Cincinnati, by the way. I'm not touching anything from Cincinnati. I know they go against Arizona, and this might be the situation that absolutely fluffs me over here, but I do not like Cincinnati in any way possible when it comes to DFS. They're my team in real life. I'm a Bengals fan, but not when it comes to DFS. I'm going Nico Collins here. I think he should have another really great game versus Atlanta. Their defense, Atlanta's defense is absolutely abysmal. I mean, there's nothing really positive to take away from Atlanta's defense in any way possible. You know, like, I thought they were going to be great. I thought they were going to be good, but it seems like that team just does nothing but choke. And that's not even me taking a shot at them. They just find new creative ways every single week, I feel like, to choke. But at the same time, you know, they're still a good team. They're still a good team on offense. Their offense, except for Desmond Ridder, is good. I hope you guys are understanding the point I'm getting to. It's literally, it's Bijan Robinson. That's pretty much who's good on that team. Really, the other receivers then, outside of, I'll be honest with you, outside of, what's his name? Outside of Nico Collins, Zay Flowers, there's not many receivers here I really love this week. I guess I'm just going to go back to the well here and go with Puka. At this point, there's like no reason not to. I mean, the guy's doing it every single week. Except for Cincinnati, he's getting the job done. And the Eagles, again, like I said, are not a team that I'm looking at thinking, oh, wow, they definitely could shut down everybody, right? I'm going to have to change this up, though, because I just realized how cheap I have to go if I don't change this up. So let's go ahead here. We're going to go with, I'm going to go with a cheaper running back here. I don't know if I really like Gibbs. I mean, Carolina matchup seems like it could be a decent matchup. But I don't really know if I love Gibbs there. Mixon does interest me a little bit just because of the fact if they can't get that passing game going, I know at least I'm going to get guaranteed carries with Joe Mixon. I'm going back to the well here on Montgomery. I don't love it, but I'm going back to well there. Okay, so we're going to have to go cheaper here because I just realized we went very, very expensive at certain places. Oh, that's why, because Puka was like $70,000. That's why. I didn't realize how expensive Puka was there. Alright, so I'm going to go a little bit cheaper then. MVS, don't really love him there. Ugh. Tank Dell, I might be okay with versus Atlanta. The problem is, do I want two receivers in that offense, though? Although, you know, I don't know, because that offense is very productive under CJ Stroud, which I did not think I was going to say going into this week. I'll be honest with you. I'm sorry, going into this year. But it's pretty much true at this point. All right, I'm going to get off the Lions defense here. And I'm actually going to go ahead and go with... What defense do I like? Let me go Broncos. Let me go somehow, some way the Broncos get the job done. And now we're going to have to kind of go a little bit cheaper across the board here. If we want to keep all players how I like them here, we're going to have to go a little bit cheaper. I'm going to pivot off Mark Andrews here. I'm going to go with a cheaper tight end. I don't know. I was going to say, do I want to go with all Houston Texans here? But I feel like at that point, if you're going to go all Houston Texans like that, you got to go with CJ Stroud as your quarterback. You kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, this is kind of stacked up so much, you know, at this point, you got to go with CJ Stroud. I might go with Tyler Higbee. As 4,100 play, I kind of like that play. It's not too horrendous. And as long as he can get some yards down the field, some catches, maybe like 3 or 4 or 5 catches, maybe he falls in the end zone, I'm actually okay with that play. And it also gives me a little bit more buyback option with that, you know, DeAndre Swift game there. And our last play here, I know we do have Michael Pittman coming off a bad game versus LA, but I'm actually going to go ahead and go back to him here versus Tennessee. I don't think Tennessee's that good. I think the Bengals was absolutely crap to bet against them. I mean, the Browns absolutely demolished them, and I think we're going to a lot of people are going to overhype them. But 1 week does not determine anything. So, this is kind of where I'm looking when it comes to my lineup this week. Again, like I said, it's my first look. We're going to be doing many lineups this week, more than one, but this is kind of where I'm looking, guys. Tell me down below your thoughts and opinions. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.